Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975. Excuse me. I had a double chili cheeseburger with raw chilies on the top and chili cheese for breakfast. So obviously my throat's, well, quite painful, as are my lips right now. It's Wednesday, I'm off work. So as you know, I like to have a little bit of a vloggy, talky video on a Wednesday. So this is the Wednesday vlog number 11, 12. I don't know, it's irrelevant. I'll put a link, I'll put something to it in the descriptive or doohickey thingy, whatever. That thing down there. Anyway, you've read the topic, which is schools tell parents that if they don't police the games their children play, they will call the police and call social services. Yes, I know I'm not the only person to talk about this, and I might be a tad late to the party, but I only read about this a couple of days ago and saw it on the news a couple of days ago, and I only, do a vlog video once a week, so I thought I'd save it for this. It's a really, really interesting story. There's a number of things that lots of other people have talked about. I just want to talk about the ludicrous nature of it, and trying to police it and shit like that. But as you know, right, so this school is in Cheshire, not Cheshire, sorry. A number of schools, 15 or 16 schools in Cheshire, sent a letter to the parents of all the pupils in those schools saying that they had to police the games that their children play. So if they hear in class or children discussing that they've been playing games, I think it was particularly Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto, that they were playing games that were not aged for them, then yeah, they were going to call the police and social services. This is, well, we'll get to what this is in a minute. Now, their reasons being Call of Duty makes children overly aggressive, and Grand Theft Auto, I think this was one they had the biggest woody for, no pun intended, was it over, gives children over sexualized behavior. Right, I've said this before and I'll say it again, so we won't go too deeply into this, but it's bullshit that video games create fucking murderers, criminals, thugs, rapists. That's shit. This constant blaming or trying to find a link between video games, between people's behaviour, is bollocks. I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's not there. It's down to the individual. I mean, this is why I guess they're doing it. It's down to how the individual is brought up and raised. It's also at some point, some people are just wired insane and batshit crazy and are going to flip out at some point. Whatever is the trigger mechanism is irrelevant because it was in that individual. So I'm not... Oh no, it's a dust bunny. I'm not a fan of this constant trying to find something so people can sleep easy at night, and explain away all the world's problems. Refuse to accept that the world is a nasty place and has been a nasty place for a very long time. Instead, they need to find a link just to give them peace of mind. Horseshit, horseshit, horseshit. That's not my problem. I mean, a number of people have talked about the fact that children, if parents brought them up responsibly, sit down and explain these things to them. These games aren't necessarily going to do that to them anyway. It goes back to maybe if they were mental, like batshit crazy and like that. Now, I understand what they're coming from in the sense that they shouldn't be playing this game. No, you're right, they shouldn't be playing this game, and I've long argued when parents let their children play games that aren't age restricted to them, that that's just bad parenting. They shouldn't be doing that. There's age restriction on games for a reason. I've always believed that. It boggles the mind when parents just buy a game and then piss and moan after the child has played the game, saying, "Oh my God, look at the language in this. Da 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 da. Did you not look at the cover and see that it said mature or or 18 restricted game?" I think that's ridiculous. But my problem with this heavy-handed approach that they're taking is simply because has the person who decided to implement this thought about how things happen, that there are responsible parents out there, and that this immediate heavy-handed response, they hear kids saying, "Oh man, you won't believe what I did on Grand Theft Auto last night." I just think, first of all, it reeks of, you know, certain policies of political parties, even though this is an education system thingy, group or whatever, when it's constantly, you don't know how to bring up your children, the state knows best, therefore the state will have to get involved here and take a firm hand and do it for you. I fucking hate state intervention in the lives of the ordinary citizens. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are very, very morally responsible, but you know, and you police your child's video game collection. You refuse to buy him anything. You keep it, you know, a tight eye on his internet and stuff like that. You know, you don't let him watch, you know, videos that are rated over a certain age and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, one day, your kid goes around his mate's house and gets to play it, picks up a potty word, or, you know, it talks about what he did in the game the next day, and you automatically just go, those parents, bad parenting, and you call the old bill, and then you call social services. That to me boggles the mind, and they get all heavy-handed with them, and then it turns into this, because this is what happens when the state seems to think that it has to intervene in stuff, which is then it becomes prove you're innocent, as opposed to innocent and not until proven guilty, because that's what happens. These could be the most morally responsible parents in the world, but you know, you can't. Well, you wouldn't fucking bug your kid in the neck or something, follow him around with a fucking drone or something. It's simply just logistically not possible to watch your child, you know, 24/7. That doesn't make you a bad parent. I don't know if you know, these people realise. In fact, they obviously never had a childhood themselves, which is when I was a kid and my parents restricted what we wanted or were allowed to watch. So we still watched, you know, 18-rated movies because we'd go over our mate's house. You know, their parents wouldn't let them watch them, but we found a way. We borrowed it off a kid at school. Hell, my auntie, when she lived next door to our then house, when she used to babysit us, she had no problem. My mum never knew because she made us promise to keep her mouth shut. She had no problem renting us movies like fucking Terminator and shit like that. My point is, when they just say heavy-handed approach, your child did this, you're immediately a bad parent. We must intervene. We must get the state involved. We must get the authorities involved. It's like, do they not understand the implications of this? It's... fuck you, how dare you? How dare you just immediately write off any good, you know, upbringing and parenting skills that they have done to these individuals. They could have created a very morally rounded person. They may have sat there with movies and said, fake blood, fake this, whatever. You know, you understand the consequences of those actions and the repercussions toward those from a, you know, social perspective and stuff. They could be, you know, genuine people are doing the best for their children, and then some fucking idiot at school who just, I personally think it's a soundbite or just someone trying to make their name, suddenly decides because their kid may have snuck out and done something that their parents, you know, have tried very hard to stop from happening, and through, you know, no fault of their own has managed to experience this, then all of a sudden this school turns into fucking Big Brother and goes batshit crazy and then basically just goes in at the deep end and throws the shit at them. I can't believe this. And yes, it does reek of Big Brother. I know a few other people have said that in videos, and it's not that I want to rip off that statement, but as you know, I am very much one of those people that hates the fucking nanny state. But this to me is absolutely ludicrous. Not only is it unpoliceable, I mean, I'd like to know what the social services and the police forces in Cheshire have to say about this. Or were they even contacted by the school when these headmasters, all the schools when these headmasters sent all these letters out? Because it's unpoliceable, it's completely unfair, you know, and I just think it could have, if it is generally 100% true that police and social services will get involved in it, it could have very negative repercussions on people who've generally done nothing wrong. And also remember, kids will be kids. When it comes to, you know, experiencing it and viewing and actively seeking to the things they shouldn't. When something is banned from you as a kid, when it becomes naughty, it becomes exciting to circumvent the rules of your parents, your, you know, your carers, to experience it. So I find this kind of very heavy-handed and ever so slightly a little alarming. But as always, you know, there is no right or wrong answer. These are just my thoughts and opinions. I would love to know what you think, especially if you live in Cheshire, or you're a police officer, or social services. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.